Hello.
Hello.
And welcome everyone. And so I am here to share with you. I wanted to just kind of give you all an update and just go over our Hands Up for Housing referral program, which is for our McKinney Vento families that is struggling with housing now. Uh, it is a process. So as your families are inquiring about the program, please share with them that it does take some time for their families to go through a process. Um, I will have Rainey send out I kind of wrote it out on what you all need. There is a form, the Hands Up for Housing form. And so on that form, there are 2 pages. It's 2 pages at the top because we kind of updated it because we needed to make sure that we were documenting the school and the students. And so we added that to the new form. So at the top of the page, it should have school name and student ID number. And so make sure that your parents complete the form completely. Try to ask them to explain and not leave anything blank on the form. They must have some source of income. And so what does that look like? It could be that they may be getting SSI, and they may be even working at the same. So they will need to have a verification of their SSI, which would be an award letter that says exactly what they received for that income. And if they're employed, then they need to at least produce a pay stub, a couple of pay stubs with the referral. So when they complete that and bring in the verification proof of their income and or employment, then you all can scan it and email it directly to me. And from there, I will make sure that we have all the information that Goodwill needs. And then I will send it directly to Goodwill. Sherry Sims is the person at Goodwill that I sent it to. Her or Lorraine Jacobs are the 2 people that handle the referrals. So how that looks once it gets to them, you all are finished, I am finished, unless the parents may call and ask you, well, they haven't heard from them. Normally, if I'm not missing any information, then I will immediately go ahead and email that to Goodwill. Sometimes it may take them up to 24 to 48 hours to make contact with the family. They will contact the family and they will schedule what they call an orientation. Orientation is mandatory. They have to attend orientation. Normally they will have orientation on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 3 o'clock. However, if a family or if our parents are working, then they will try to work around that schedule and schedule maybe a separate orientation with them. So at any time, let me know if you have any questions, or put your questions in the chat room.
Can we also talk about the families in transition tab?
Okay, I will. With the housing referral form, once we send that to them and they contact the parents, please remind the parents if they change their phone number to make sure that they contact the Goodwill to give them their correct number. Because we did have a parent that called and said and complained that they had not gotten in touch with them. Well, they changed their phone number. And they do keep well documentation of their contacts that they make with the parents. So once they do orientation, then they're actually assigned a what they call a career coach. That career coach will do a complete assessment. let's say this morning I had one and the family actually needed the birth certificate and the social security numbers. They can fill out all that information right there at Goodwill. They don't have to go to the social security office or any of that. They can get that paperwork done there. They can also apply for uh, uh, any other services that they might need. Like, let's say they need to apply for their disability, they can do it there at Goodwill. So if they need to increase their employment, they have a job training program. They can do that there. So they can get a lot of resources right there. The only thing that Hands Up for Housing does not do is they do not pay like a hotel fees if they're in hotels right now. But they will pay the first month and the security deposit to help families with sustainability. So that is one of the major things. Also, real quickly, I know we have a short amount of time. There is now NIC, particularly for our new coordinators, at the top of your summary sheet. You should see a flag, and it will be purple, and it will say MKV. So that pretty much lets all your counselors, your principal, your MTSS teams will know in there when they're pulling up a student, if that student is McKinney Vento. So that's what that flag indicates. So one of the things that we really needed was to be able to track our services. And so I know sometimes we've been overlapping services. So now you should be able to go into the summary page and look for Family in Transition tab. When you see that tab, if you click on that tab, then it should list everything that we have done for that family as far as services and resources. And the Family in Transition tabs. It will list even the community partners that we have used to support that family. It could be gas cards, food cards, clothing, whatever services that we are providing for that family, you should be able to see it. Let's see, I'm looking at, let's see. Only listings done.
So Miss TC, that they don't log anything there, but they can see what you and Laura and Tony have done.
Yes,
Is that
they
correct?
can. Yeah, because that kind of helps to see. We can see what they do. Like, I know that they cannot see what each other does. Like, if you have a family, let's say at elementary, middle, and high, which we have several of those, I know that the coordinators can't see what each other's doing, but we can. So sometimes if you're unsure and you might not can reach the next coordinator, then you can contact us and we can look and tell you. Because I know sometimes like a family might go to the elementary to get their utilities paid, and then they'll call the middle school to get their utilities paid. And I know that it's really important that you all look at your bylaws to ensure that you're providing the funding that your bylaws have for each family. And I know, thank you all for the ones that did get to come to community table talk. It was very informative. There's always new stuff that we even find out. There's new services, new organizations and agencies that are in the community that sometimes we don't always know. And so we've been able to now connect them to table talk. It will be now on the third Friday of every month. I know we don't have a location yet for October, but I will send that out. You all will know it. You're always invited uh, to come to our table talks. I know Devonda, several of you all were there Friday. I hope it was very informative, because it was one of the things that we found out I thought was real interesting, particularly in working with our families that might be getting services through SSI, that they have a payee service. And so that means that, especially with families that are struggling with maintaining their housing, then they can, the community and residential services can work with them. And what they will do is that their check will now go directly to them. They will pay all of their bills, their rent, their utilities, and then they will forward the funds that are left over back to the family. Any questions? Comments? Concerns? I continue to thank you all for your collaboration. I know that we are working hard to help us all work smarter, not harder. So being able to provide information from our community partners on what's out there. I know, like right now, I will express that right now, our families are struggling because we have every day since last week, I think I've had families that have been evicted, that are sleeping in their cars, and we are working on that because we don't have the funding for hotels now. And so actually my next call will be to the Office of Homelessness, Jeff Hamm, to see what type of support that we can help with our families. And if that is the case, the most that we will be able to provide would be 3 days. So I'm gonna be checking into that because I know that we do have some families that are really struggling with housing right now. Anybody have any questions? Right, Rainy.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for being here. I did write down names, so I'm going to draw names right now for participants to see who gets a little prize.
Rainy, real quick, I'm gonna ask, let's see, I think Joe, Tony, and Laura may be on here. Do y'all have any input on anything that we need to let them know that you all are doing? I will say for our McKinney Vento referral forms, I know your registrars sometimes are sending them directly to me, but they also go to Laura and Tony. And I've been asking them to make sure that you all are included in on those emails because you all sometimes don't always know who they're making McKinney Vento until your information comes out. You're welcome.
All right. So our first winner is Josh Owsley and Morgan Ward. So I will get your prizes to you when I can. It'll come through the courier. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Miss TC.
All right. Thank you all. Have a great day, great week.
Thank you.
Bye.